What is up, everyone? Today I'm going to show you how we plan to make $65,000 in 4 months on one single family property. So let's get right into it. So basically, where we find properties like this, we look on Zillow, we network with wholesalers, real estate agents, everywhere we can, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. We let everybody know that we are buying properties. And after doing it for so long, deals will just start to fall in your lap. People will just say, hey, do you want to buy this? People that you've worked with in the past will just bring you more deals. That's actually how we bought this one. We got it from a wholesaler we've worked with before. He basically just sent it to us, asked if we wanted to buy it. We negotiated on it, came to a deal, and that's how we got this one. That's the best way to start. Find properties that have been on the market for months and months and months that are overpriced. Put a number out there. Sometimes those people have never gotten an offer, so they don't even know that anybody's even interested, so you may be the only offer they've ever got. So basically on this one, we worked with a wholesaler that we'd worked with in the past. That's why you want to treat everybody nicely, especially if you do multiple deals in a certain area. You'll end up seeing people again, so don't try to screw anybody over, rip somebody off on a deal, because you may end up seeing them again. And the people that I work with, I've done really good deals with, always be honest, and I've done multiple deals with multiple people. So I'm always getting deal after deal after deal from the same people. So it really helps, brings me a lot of properties. They're happy, I'm happy, we both make money. So if you guys have seen any of my other videos, you know that most of the properties we purchase are trashed out, hoarder houses, I mean all kinds of stuff, roofs caving in. Basically all the houses we buy are big remodels. We do that because we can get such a good deal on them. We have good contractors that we work with, and we know how to do the process to just get them done quickly, under budget, and just make good money on them. This also allows us to buy cheaper properties. That way there's an upside after we do all the construction work, because we're not going to want to do $60,000 of construction work for $5,000, $10,000 of profit. So basically when we're buying these properties, a lot of people just need out of them. They can't afford them anymore. They may have tax issues, all types of issues on the house, just a whole bunch of stuff that we deal with when we're purchasing these properties. And we can get them for a very cheap price, allowing us to leave a nice property for the renter or new homeowner. So with this property, if you saw it in any of my other videos, it was completely trashed out. It was full, everything, all the rooms were full, all the electric was bad, roof was bad, cracks and everything in the sheetrock. As you can see, there's a hole up there. About the only thing that was decent was the windows. Even the structure of the house was just all over the place. The floors were like roller coasters in here and also really bouncy. So basically where we start, the first thing that we do is we trash out the full property, demo anything that we do not want. We'll get into all our electric, plumbing, and heat and air, all the things that we need done before we put sheetrock in. We'll get permits for all that stuff if it's needed. The electrician likes to tear these channels in all the walls. That way he has easy access to put all the electric in, staple it all in, get everything in place. The heat and air guy, as you can see, tears out a big hole, puts in his vents and all that stuff. We'll add attic access. That way if the unit's up in the attic, we can get up there, he can work on it. So far on the plumbing, we spent about $3,000. That's to add all new plumbing under the house. He fixed a lot of the sewer lines and all that stuff. On the electric, we plan to spend about $9,000. That's for all the fixtures, all the electric wiring, all of it ran, permits and everything on that as well. Heat and air, we spent about $16,000. That's to run all this duct work, permits and everything for that as well. All new heat and air units, indoor and outdoor. We ended up spending about $7,300 on the roof so far. That was to fix all the roof, put new decking where it was needed, all new fascia where needed, and also a lot of new soffits as well. So like I said on this house, the structural was very bad, very wavy. We had to do a lot of piering under there, a lot of new beams. We're also having to do a little brickwork on the outside, which we were not planning to do. So with that being said, we'll end up spending about $6,000 in structural work here. So like from our previous videos, this was full of stuff. So I would not be able to be standing right here where I'm at from when we originally purchased it. We had to clean out the whole house, like I said. That ended up costing about $5,000 in labor for all that. A lot of the yard work done as well. Also about $1,400 for dumpsters just for that initial clean out. It was a lot of money, a lot of work, a lot of dumpsters, but we got it all done. It's all clean now. It's probably why the structure was not holding up. All the beams under were falling apart, breaking and everything. So do not leave your houses in that type of condition. Tears up your house, especially on a crawl space. So for all of our nice new kitchen cabinetry, I'll be washing my hands right here. All of this will end up costing us about $3,000. That will also include the bathroom cabinetry. I'll post some drawings that we've got for that, what the kitchen's gonna look like, bathrooms and all that. I also forgot to mention this house is about 1,300 square foot. That's pretty typical for the properties that we buy. Makes it very easy to rent, sell, and all that in the area that we're in. That's another thing that I like to do in real estate, following the same property sizes and all that. That way you kind of find your niche in real estate. Typically do the same things, same type of work. That way you can get really good at it. Your contractors can get really good at it, know what they're doing, know what to expect, know what you're planning to spend, what you're planning to sell the property for, rent the property for, all that type of stuff. Makes it very easy when you're doing multiple properties at the same price range. This also helps whenever we're going to appraise a property. We've done multiple houses in Sapulpa and Sage Springs. This has shown up on multiple appraisals. Basically, we're fixing up a property in a certain area and it's helping our appraisals come back higher. That way we can get it sold for higher, appraised for higher whenever we're refinancing it. And it really helps out all the property owners around it, other people that are trying to sell. It really just spruces up the neighborhood. We also end up putting in a dishwasher and an oven in this property. That's what we do in all of our properties. We'll end up spending about $1,000 on appliances. So for the sheetrock, we will end up spending about $2,500 to $3,000 patching all the holes, all the cracks, and getting it to a nice new condition. So for trim and carpentry, a lot of this stuff looks like it's in very rough shape, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. A lot of this stuff can be saved, so we hopefully will stay around our $1,500 budget to replace all the trim that we need to. So that should be about it for that. We'll also spend about $4,000 painting everything on the interior, making it look nice and beautiful. At that point, this house will be looking great. Then we'll get the laminate floors. That'll cost us about $3,000. We're only gonna do it in about half of the house. The carpet will end up costing us about $1,000. So $3,000 for the laminate, $1,000 for the carpet. Then this house will be in great condition, about ready to be on the market for rent, sell, whatever we plan on doing with it. I almost forgot to mention the tile. That'll end up costing us about $2,000 for labor and material to do the floors, walls in this bathroom, and doing the floor in the other bathroom. We now have a tree in the yard. That'll end up costing us about $1,000 to get rid of that, clean it up. We also already had all the yard cleaned up. I mentioned that that was part of the price of the demo and clean out, but hey, those things happen. We ended up spending about $1,000 on siding work. I know that sounds cheap. That's because the roofer did some of the soffit and the fascia work whenever he was replacing the roof, so that was in his price. So now it is about paint ready. The painter will come in, caulk everything, get it all ready to go. That'll cost us about $2,000 to get this thing painted. So basically, with all that being said, we'll end up spending about $70,000 to fix this one all up. We purchased it for about $63,000. All in, we'll probably be $135,000. This property should be worth about $200,000. So $65,000 of profit in 4 months with one property is really a good profit. So I always say rent or sell on these properties. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this one. I like to rent them. That way we can get a refinance, get money back, tax-free. Basically have a property that just continues to grow in value. We'll get to keep a lot of equity in the property. Whenever we sell these properties, we end up spending about 10% on closing costs, closing fees, fees to realtors and all that stuff. That eats up a lot of costs. If I refinance it, I can get 80% of the value back. I'm just missing out on about 10% of the value of the property. I'm also getting it tax-free, so I'm not paying taxes on that money that I would be paying if I were to sell it. In my eyes, refinancing is the best way to go. You don't get as much money up front, but it does pay off in the long run being able to keep these properties. That's how I've made a lot of my money, is keeping properties over time, refinancing it a couple of years later, and just getting paid off later on, and basically refinancing, going on to the next property, refinancing, and just continuing to do that over and over again, building up a portfolio. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment of a future video you'd like to see, and I'll see y'all on the next one.